Hey friends, welcome back. I want to tell you that if you haven't planted everything in your garden yet, or you're wanting to try but you think it's too late, don't worry, it's not too late. I compiled a list of things that you can still plant now and still have success. So let me just run through the list with you. Zucchini, first of all. Zucchini does not take that long. The one I have here, Black Beauty zucchini, 50 days to harvest, which means you can plant it. Okay, everybody's growing season is different as far as the length. So, like if you have 150 days in your growing season, or if you have 200 something, depending on where you live, you can still do multiple succession plantings of zucchini. So even if you planted one back in May, you can still do one now that it's in June. You can do another one in July probably. And then if you don't have your average last frost date until sometime in November, you could probably plant more in August. When it starts getting colder at night, even though it's not freezing but cooling down, things do tend to slow down in the fall. Even though they don't die, they just slow down. So I wouldn't say count back from your average first frost date exactly 50 days and plant that late, because it doesn't really work that way. And they need time to mature and give you multiple harvests, not just one. So keep that concept in mind for everything that I'm going to say. But next, I want to mention our brassicas. So my brassicas are over here. And a lot of them have bolted, a lot of them haven't. Your cauliflowers and your broccolis and your lettuces, spinach, your pak choys, bok choys, whatever, all your choys, your arugula, all that kind of stuff has probably already bolted. Kales usually don't. At least in my area, I haven't seen kales bolt. They flower the next year more like a biennial than doing it in the same year. So you can have a spring, early summer crop of those things and a fall crop of those things, because they're cooler weather crops. So plant them in the spring, plant them in the fall. Go buy them if you want to from the nursery, or start your own seeds inside like I do and just do the math. Okay, I have this many days left in the growing season and these take this many days to germinate, so I should start them inside this time or direct sow them this time, whatever. So I'm actually going to do very soon is start my brassicas inside, like my broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage inside now, so I can plant it out next month or in 6 weeks or something like that, and I get a fall harvest. They like the cooler weather, so as long as you can keep them from bolting by keeping them inside longer and then planting them out, then you can get a fall crop. You got to play with the timing, because it's still freaking hot in August, around here anyways. So something you can do, and something that may or may not work, because you got to figure out the timing for your area. Kales, you can do anytime, and they will still be there when winter comes, until it's like down to 0 or something, then maybe not, but otherwise they're one of the last things to still be alive in the garden for me in my area. Beans. Pole beans take a little bit longer than bush beans, but there's still time for both. Today is June 10th. There's still time for both. Matter of fact, the stupid roly-polies keep eating my pole beans, and I gotta plant more. Again, this is my 3rd time planting them. So I'm gonna plant more pole beans, and this is the latest I've ever done it. But according to the seed packet, there's still time. Bush beans though, they're like zucchini, 50, 60 days, something like that, and you have beans. And they don't last the whole season. For me, they get worn out, the pests really get to them, and I gotta yank them out anyways. So 2 succession plantings of those is pretty good for me in my area. So, being June, you can do your 2nd succession planting, or your 1st if you're late to the game. Cucumbers, same exact thing. Don't usually last the whole season. You can succession plant those. You can do it right now in June. I'm doing mine in June because of the squash bugs. I'm trying to get them to go somewhere else and not in my space before I plant my pumpkins, melons, and squash, and cucumbers, I mean. And it's still not too late to plant your winter squash and melons. Now, for some it is. Some, they want like 120 days to harvest, to mature. And in my area, that's not going to work. But in other areas it might. So depending on your area, again. But there are still plenty of melon and winter squash, summer squash ideas or varieties that you can plant that don't need that much time. Find some that are like 90-day or something like that, and you might still have time to do it in June. That's what I'm doing. A lot of root vegetables that are cold hardy, they don't tolerate the heat, are like carrots, radishes, and beets, turnips, parsnips, stuff like that. Your root crops, you can plant them now, leave them in for a while, and maybe you'll get a fall harvest. And the beets and carrots will be sweeter because you harvested them when they were cold. Radishes bolt really fast, so you can wait on radishes and not do it in the middle of the summer. But there's still time. Corn. Some corn only needs 60 or 70 days to grow and harvest. You see mine popping up on both sides of the fence in the pumpkin patch? I planted those late. That's okay, at end of May. But they only need like 60 or 70 days. I can't remember because I left my seed packet outside and it got wet and I lost all the seed because I forgot about it. And so I don't know how many days it takes, but I know I have time. So there's a lot of varieties you can find of corn that you can still plant right now in June and have plenty of time to get your harvest. There's a lot of herbs that you can do, that you can direct sow right now. Make sure you keep it moist because it's hot out. So basil, parsley, dill, cilantro, stuff like that. You could probably do thyme, savory, sage. I'm looking out of my herb garden. It's on the outside of the cattle panels over there. And yeah, still time for a whole bunch of your herbs as well. Probably not rosemary though. I mean, any of these things you can go buy from your nursery too and put it in right now and it's fine. But if it's some things that you want to direct sow, I would wait on that. And don't forget the peas. So peas plant early spring before your average last frost date. And then you plant them again late summer. Like me, I think I'm gonna do in August for me. And then they'll grow and then you'll get a fall harvest. And you'll get a whole bunch of peas in the fall before the winter takes them. They're cold tolerant. They don't love the heat, but once things start to cool down, they'll be happy. So I did last year and I got some in the fall. It was amazing. It's too late for onions because they need all the daylight they can get to form bulbs. So I think if you planted starts, if you planted sets, if you tried to throw seed in there, I don't think any of it would work now in June. But if you're still wanting onion in some form, get you some bunching onions or green onions. You can either buy the seed, sprinkle the seed in and let them grow, or just buy some from the grocery store and cut the top off and use it and leave the root in a section still intact and plant that, and it'll keep growing green for you. It'll grow the whole, it'll survive the winter and everything. So you can do that. Another thing is Malibar spinach. There are bush and climbing variety of Malibar spinach. I have the climbing, it's the red Malibar spinach, and it's not even gonna germinate till it's warm outside, till the soil temperatures are warm. And there's still time for it. So get you some Malibar spinach and direct sow that. Best direct sown versus transplanting. So that's the food ideas that I came up with on my list, but I'm sure there's more. Just what I could think of. Now for flowers, because I know we all love our flowers too, right? Nasturtiums. You can still soak and scarify your nasturtiums and plant them and get something. Nasturtiums don't take that long. I did this one late, these ones a month ago, and then that small one last week or something, beginning of June. And it will be fine. Sunflowers. Sunflowers grow fast. Still plenty of time for those. And calendula are so easy. They're like one of the easiest things to grow. And I just direct sow them. I don't start them inside. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you. All these that I'm about to show you were sprinkled or fell from last year's. They stayed here all winter and came up. All the beautiful yellow. And we have all different kinds that look super neat. Those are spent. And then look at the different color variations. And then this one has a darker center than some of the other ones. And they come in all different kinds of colors too. So I bought calendula seed one time, planted them one time, and they're so easy to save. When it's dried out, you just grab the whole top and got a whole bunch of seeds there. So easy. And then the landscaping up front, same situation. I will never have to buy calendula seeds ever again. Well, that's everything on my list. I'm sure there's plenty more. I just didn't think of it or write it down, but it's not too late. You can still plant stuff. It might not be all the things you want, and you could still go buy a pepper plant or a tomato plant from the store and plant it now too in June. And most areas, like anybody that's like currently in summer, you can do that. There are varieties that are quicker than others, and you can do that. Just starting from seed, I wouldn't try to start tomato and pepper from seed right now and expect to get a good harvest. But plenty of options for you. You can do it. You can keep on planting. Even if you didn't get everything in the ground, you still have space. There is something you can fit in that space and get a harvest without wasting space. So, hope this helped you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll pop up some videos for you to watch over here. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye.